everyone out there, rockmusicstar.com. This is Tom, and we're here with Chris from Megadeth. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Very cool. The band is right in the middle of a tour. Now you guys are doing something really unique. You're playing the entire Rust in Peace CD in its entirety on this tour. How has the fan reaction been to it so far?
I think it's been great. You know, it's I think that's like a CD that a lot of people have come to kind of claim as their own. You know, and I think when you hear it in its entirety, it's kind of, it marks a place in time, I think, with everybody. You know, and so I think it's awesome personally, and I hope the fans appreciate it too. They seem to be going ape over it. You know, I don't want to go any further than that, but yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah.
Now, you just also put out a new CD called Endgame. I think it's kind of interesting that you're decided to concentrate on this Rust in Peace CD now when you have a new CD out. Do you think that this maybe is taking away the focus, or do you think it's maybe bringing more focus to the band?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, even if it were taking away focus from the CD Endgame a little bit, you know, it definitely is bringing more focus to the band on the whole. So overall, it's a positive thing, you know, and so I wouldn't, you know, it doesn't worry me one bit, you know.
Right. I think from what I'm understanding is that every place you're playing is pretty much sold out. Do you kind of regret playing like smaller venues and not, you know, playing more venues? Because I know this venue in itself sold out in like less than an hour for this show.
Wow. No, I don't regret it at all. To me, it gives you that you know, it's kind of like that thrash metal vibe that I think you get when you get a smaller venue as opposed to a large venue where the barricade's like 8 feet away and the nearest person is 10 feet away, you know. And yeah. I kind of like the smaller places where you almost get to meet your fans as you're playing for them, so it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now you have David Elfson is back in the band. How have the dynamics of the band changed with David back in the fold?
I think, you know, there's just, it's kind of very cool. It's the perfect time to coincide with Rust in Peace, you know, and it definitely makes sense because he brought definitely a big element to Rust in Peace, and he brings that element back now that he's back in, and so it just sounds, I think, that much more authentic, you know.
Now, you guys, I also heard that when David got back in the band, you recorded a new song right away. Can you tell us a little bit about that song that you recorded?
I can tell you a little bit about it. It's a new song. There you go. No, I'm just kidding. No, we spent a couple weeks recording a new song, and I don't know if I can tell you what it's for. It's, you know, I don't know if there's been a press release on it or not, but you know, it's very guitar-driven, and you know, it's got some over-the-top riffs on it, so that's really all I can say, that I know I can say anyways at this time.
Okay, fair enough. Now, recently you were nominated for a Grammy. Did you go to ceremonies?
Yeah.
And what was it like?
Well, my girlfriend had to drag me. She was totally the reason I went, because I didn't want to go. I knew what it was going to be, and you know, it was exactly what I thought it would be. We got there, and we were in the pre-telecast portion, which is basically most of the smaller genres of music, and that was probably a good 3.5 hours long, and that was just basically a big auditorium, you know, with some live music, but not nearly as much as the telecast version that you see. And then from there, they kind of usher you into the telecast version, and then that's another 2.5, 3 hours, and then after that, they have the after show kind of party, and that was back in the same auditorium that we were in for the pre-telecast. So it was just, for me, it was a long day of like a bunch of peacocks walking around trying to, you know, be like, look at me, you know, and I'm not really too into that, but my girlfriend liked it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a pretty cool thing, I guess, but then you actually describe what it's like, and it's not as close.
Well, let me put it this way. I'm extremely honored to be nominated for a Grammy. You know, I mean, that to me is really what it's all about. But to go there and you know, if we'd won it, it would have been a different thing to be there, you know. But just to go there, just to be there, like a lot of people do, it's not really my scene. I'd rather be practicing, to tell you the truth. So.
Well, maybe you didn't win it, but you were on the list for a lot of the top CD of the year with Endgame. I mean, a lot of critics love the CD. Your fans love it. I mean, it's just a killer CD. I mean, you must be pretty proud of the CD and the response you've been getting for it so far.
Very much so. And, I think with anything that you create as a musician, you have to kind of live it and become part of it. So you really are proud of anything that you produce. But with this CD, the proof is really when you see other people pick it up and really enjoy it too. And so it's the accolades that it's gotten that's really made me proud.
Now, you recently celebrated your 40th birthday. Did you ever think, like maybe when you were a teenager, that you'd be spending your 40th birthday as a lead guitar player in Megadeth on stage? I mean, that's crazy.
No, I had no clue. I mean, I was always sort of a realist, and I always knew getting into this business would be a lot of luck and a lot of perseverance. So, I never had any, misgiven dreams that, oh yeah, I'm going to make it one day, when I was 18 or anything like that. I have the same attitude I have now, which was I love to play the guitar and I love playing metal. So luckily for me, I've gotten into this position where I can do it for a living, and I'm just thankful for that. So
not too many people can. So I mean, that's quite an accomplishment.
And there's tons of great players. I mean, you could probably walk down the street corner here and find another great guitarist, or maybe the cameraman right here. He's the best guitarist in the world, right? So it's a lot of luck, and you just hope that people like what you do.
Yeah. Well, you were smart as a guitarist because you're very diverse in what you can play. I mean, you're a trained classical guitarist and things like that. I mean, would you be as satisfied, playing on a stage in front of people with suits in a classical type concert, or are you really happy that it worked out that you ended up in heavy metal?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of live performance, I'm definitely happy that it worked out in metal, because live performance in classical guitar is definitely that. It's more controlled, it's more subdued, and I love the music just as much, but the live performance of it is, it's almost like the audience has a duty to perform themselves, no clapping in between movements, and, so you can't really be yourself when you're at a classical guitar or a classical concert in general. So I like the live atmosphere of metal where people, if they want to scream, scream louder, do whatever you want. So.
Right. Have you? I know you're really busy with Megadeth right now, but would you consider putting out a solo classical record, or do you have material recorded where you could put out something solo if necessary, if you wanted to?
Well, I've definitely got stuff recorded and written, but at this time, we're so busy that I can't even consider it. I would love to maybe someday, but we're so busy right now. We've got so much touring ahead of us that. I'm just focusing on my performance tonight and tomorrow night and the next night,
Yeah, now speaking of touring, you guys are playing, you're out in the summer with Slayer, doing North American dates. You're also doing a lot of festivals in Europe. You're playing a few with Metallica. Now, be honest with us. Are those dates circled on your calendar, the ones you're playing with Metallica? Is it going to be, are you guys just going to go out for blood on those shows?
Well, I don't know what the other members are thinking behind this, but for me, it's a show like any other one. With every show that I play, I'm always trying to give my best performance. Whether it's in front of 10 people or 60,000 people. It's one of those things where I kind of measure a good performance on how I'm able to put my foot forward. So. When it gets to that day, I'll be thinking exactly the same way I'm thinking today, and going over the riffs that I need to go over and going over the things that I need to practice and all of that.